Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today I bet this is going to be a tasty treat, guys. This is Alewerks Brewing Company, and they're in Williamsburg, Virginia. It used to be called Williamsburg Alewerks, and they changed their name a while back. And I'd done this beer about 6 years ago or so, and it was in a big 22-ounce bomber. And I thought it was an outstanding beer, but they weren't dating their stuff at that time. So it cost them a grade point. This one is in a 12-ounce bottle. And it does have a date. Bottled on dates right here on the side of the label. Bottled on February 25th of 2019. So 8.4% barrel aged beer. And when I did it, I think it was called Williamsburg Alewerks, but they changed their name since then. And it's been quite a while. So this comes from Martin and the guys out at the Barrel Chest. And this wasn't a super pricey beer to buy. $6.89. for an 8.4% barrel-aged Imperial Stout. A sweet stout. They've used lactose in the brewing of this. And I'm hoping it's just going to be as impressive to me now as it was then. But I've had quite a few more beers under the bridge since that time. So I'm hoping it's going to be just as impressive now as it was then, especially now that they're dating it. And it's in a more reasonably priced package. I mean, this beer could have easily been over $10. Especially for a barrel-aged beer. So we shall see. Over to Untappd, if they have anything additional. It says, we aged a stronger version of our coffee house stout in Virginia Gentleman's bourbon barrels for 3 months. This aging adds layers of complexity, including notes of vanilla and bourbon, to this big coffee beer. So you want to have this beer as fresh as possible, guys. This was done in February, and we're into end of June here. So it probably would have had a little bit more coffee notes in February, end of February, March, sometime in March, than it's probably going to have now. But you know, a lot of times those coffee notes fade while it's in those bourbon barrels for 3 months. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we're getting ready to find out. So we don't have the IBUs on this beer, but I know what I paid for it, and it's got the ABV on it, and it's got the date on it this time. So, with that being said, let's find out. Nice hiss, a little bit of smoke. Into the glass we shall go. We're going to pour this fairly aggressive. Very nice. Yeah, about a finger of head on that pour. It is pitch black. Not getting a whole lot of light at all through it. A great looking stout. To the nose we go. Roasted malt, hints of bourbon. Not a big coffee presence. A little bit there on the nose, but that's probably going to open up more as it warms up, and maybe even by the time I go off camera. Usually, sometimes a sip or two, and I'm tasting it more and more. So. Very good looking, very nice smelling, maybe a little bit of molasses in there. Nice sweetness to it, from lactose probably. So let's give it a whirl. Cheers everybody. I'm definitely getting the coffee notes in there. The bourbon is not off the chain. I was hoping for a little more bourbon notes, but they're there. but it's not off the chain. I think they probably could have left it in the barrels for 6 months. But they may not have wanted the bourbon overpowering everything else, especially since it's done with coffee and want you to taste a little bit of everything. So I can understand why they don't. But to me, if I'm paying a premium price plus, if they left it in there for an additional 3 months, it probably would have been a couple of more dollars more, because it's taking up space and setting in those barrels at the brewery. So, but I'm getting the slight hints of bourbon, I'm getting the coffee, I'm getting the roasted malt, maybe a little black molasses, got a nice sweetness from the lactose, maybe some dark fruit once it warms up, in which we will do. Very easy drinking for an 8.4%. A very enjoyable beer. So it's right out of the fridge. Let's sip on it and we'll come back and give it a grade. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting on it for a while now. I'm a little disappointed in the amount of bourbon notes that I'm getting, and they are definitely not as impressive as I was hoping that it would be. And from what I remember when I had it the last time in the Big Bomber, I may have had it fresher then than I'm having this one now. But I don't know. I don't have a fresh one to compare it to. So that's the only thing that I'm disappointed in. Everything else is pretty tasty. It's pretty top notch. And like I said, it wasn't an expensive beer to buy for what it is, but when I see it's bourbon barreled, I want to be able to taste that. I want to be able to taste it more than I'm tasting it on this one. So I'm not quite as impressed as I was the last time that I had it. I didn't go back and look and see how old it was or anything like that. I just know that I reviewed it a long time ago when it was Williamsburg Alewerks instead of just Alewerks. But other than that, everything else is very tasty, very easy drinking, very smooth for an 8.4%. And Beer Advocate has it at 8%, which is wrong. And this one does have 8.4% on the bottle. So, of course, Beer Advocate puts them all in the same group, no matter what batch it is or anything like that. So, but it is an impressive beer and not an expensive beer to buy. So it's definitely worth picking up if you like it. Just try to get it as fresh as you can to get the big coffee notes and hopefully the bourbon notes. I think the bourbon notes are a little lackluster. And back when I had it before, like I said, I've had that was beer review like 700. And we're at, this one is, I'm over 3,500 by the time you see this one. I'm about 50 beers ahead with all the beers that Mr. Bud sent me, trying to get those done and reviewed. So without rambling on and on and on, guys, it's a very tasty beer. I think the bourbon notes are a little lackluster. Other than that, it's a very, very tasty beer. Final chug. Very pleasant beer to drink. A great final beer of the evening, not being a big, huge magnitude 10 plus ABV beer at 8.4%. Very, I'm going to say sessionable, a lot more so than like a 13, 14, 15%er would be. A lot less calories than those big monster beers is going to have. So good for me, especially when I'm still on my diet. So with that being said, other than the bourbon notes, it's a 10 beer. But with the bourbon notes as lackluster as they are, it's still going to get to 9, even though this one has a date where the other one did not. There are better bourbon barrel beers out there, but you're going to pay probably a premium price for those, where this one wasn't that bad. So, and if you say, oh my God, that's a 10 beer, best thing I ever tasted, I would not argue with that. But I've had quite a few bourbon barrel beers in my day, and this one is a little lackluster in that aspect. So, 9 for me, guys. I'm going to give it a 98 on this one. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.3 outstanding. That's also excellent numbers from those guys, but not quite the best numbers I've seen. So I would consider that about the same as where I'm putting it. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.16, which is in their A- scale. I think it's a little better than an A-, but it's not quite to the 10. So I'm in the middle of the road there. Upper end of the A scale. not quite there because the bourbon notes are so subdued. So, if you've had this, especially the 2019 edition, recently, let me know what you think. And until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.